Good morning, everyone. This is Denise with RE Solutions and
Belinda with RE Solutions.
awesome. Today's topic, we are talking about the purchasing either a new build or a pre-owned home, um, the pros and cons of both, and with different features and different topics of things that people consider when purchasing a home, to help you decide or help you figure out what to consider when doing that.
So it's going to be a pre-owned versus new build. Ding ding.
Yes. I know we need some like black eye stuff. So
I know.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is the size of home and square footage when you're considering buying new or pre-owned.
Especially with people working from home more often, it could be really important.
Yeah. So new build.
On a new build home, you're going to get less square footage for your dollar, usually. It's especially increased because of the price of lumber and the issues with labor that all the new build homes are having. So expect to pay a little bit more per square footage.
And with pre-owned homes, of course, you're going to get usually most likely a larger home for the price per square foot. And sometimes it's a significant amount. It's usually about at least 500 square feet or so that you will get with pre-owned homes. So if size of home is important to you, then a pre-owned home may be the way to go. So I win. Pew pew. All right. So next we're going to talk about closing time. All right. And with a new build?
On a new build home, because the inventory is low all throughout the United States, you're going to have to plan on 3 to 6 months before you're able to close on your new build and be able to move in.
Yes. And a year ago, they used to have new inventory homes ready to move in, but now, but with a pre-owned home, we're talking about a 30 to 45 day close time from the time that you execute the contract. And it used to be 30 days, but now it's kind of being pushed out to 45 because appraisers are very, very busy. There's a shortage of appraisers. And so
they're just overwhelmed with work.
Yes. Yeah. And so now, unfortunately, we're seeing more 45.
It's a safe bet.
Yes. I won again. Pew pew. Oh, too much. Next, repairs. All right. Sorry. All right. So repairs on a new build.
So on a new build home, you are going to have new material. You're also going to have new systems, and the likelihood of a major repair is small. And if you do need a repair, a lot of times the builder's warranty is going to cover it, at least for a minimum of 1 year for like ceiling to floor, and then up to 5 years for things like your HVAC unit, and then your foundation is covered traditionally 10 years. So that's kind of like a little bit of peace of mind.
Right. And for pre-owned, just depending on the age of the home, there will be repairs, I would say, within 5 years after living in it. Sometimes it's before, just depends on how they built the home, but you will have that warranty. But once your systems start to age, then you have to start thinking about, usually it's the water heater first, and water heaters run about $2,000 more or less. And then you have your HVAC, which usually lasts about 10, and HVACs start around 6 now, 1,000 and up. And then you have to upkeep the home, the siding and the doors and all of that. And then you have your bigger repairs, which would be your roof and your foundation. Roof's supposed to last about 20 to 30 years, but just depending, you get a hailstorm and you have insurance for that. But these are things that, as the home ages, just like a car, you want to upkeep the property and you have to start. So if you're looking at that, some people are like, I don't care because I want this older home for whatever reason, and they're okay with that, and you have home warranties. Or some people are like, no, I don't want to have to
deal with it
at all.
And you have to maintain a new build or a pre-owned home, so that's just part of that maintenance of it. But I think new builds won that one.
They did.
Woo-hoo.
Now we're going to talk landscaping.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, new build.
So on a new build, the landscaping is very new, and you're going to need to stay on top of it. And a lot of new builders don't always put things like sod in your backyard. So you want to either negotiate those things or just come in prepared that you're going to have to do that. Most new builds in San Antonio always allow anywhere from 1 to 3 trees because they have contracts with the city that they're going to replant trees that they've taken away. But you don't always get to pick those trees.
Mm-hmm. And on a pre-owned home, just depending on the neighborhood and the age, usually the older neighborhoods have really nice trees, and they used to give them bigger lots back in the 80s. So you may even have a bigger lot actually, and then you'll have more trees and bushes, things of that nature. Grass is going to depend on the owner if they took care of it or not. So that goes either way. So, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think on this one you get to at least see what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think it's kind of a tie with that because if you're a
yeah.
person who wants a blank canvas to start your own, I mean, there's nothing better than a new build. But if you're a person that wants it done for you already, you can actually kind of, go through and filter those out and make that decision.
So it's a tie on this one.
Tie on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So next we're going to talk about energy efficiency.
Yeah. So with a new build, they have to do everything up to the new codes. So traditionally speaking, that means that your new build is going to be more energy efficient than like a pre-owned home.
Yes. And pre-owned homes, again, depending on the age, your older homes, the first thing that you have to worry about are your windows. They may lose their seal. If the property has cracks or the doors have gaps where air can escape from, then your HVAC system has to work harder, to heat or cool the property, and it doesn't keep everything in as well as a newer home.
Yeah, we're feeling that right now with our HVAC and
our CPS bill is ridiculous right now, and but we have an much older home, so unless we want, and our windows are beautiful, but they're not energy efficient at all. But we love our older home, so you won on that one.
All right.
Oh, okay. Next, floor plans. All right, so this has a few things that we can talk about. So new build.
So on a new build, especially around San Antonio, you're going to have what people refer to as a cookie cutter home. And it's going to usually an open floor plan that is giving you the biggest bang for your buck as far as square footage goes. And they're usually limited with each builder. You can choose from their different types of floor plans, and sometimes they can kind of like mirror it. So if you want your garage on the left side instead of the right, sometimes if they haven't begun building and haven't begun the foundation process, they can do that for you. There's also a difference because a lot of builders have express homes, which are going to come exactly the way that the builder has designed it. You don't get a chance to swap anything out. But on the other hand, you definitely do get a chance if you want. You can go in with a builder and sit down and kind of plan everything from top to bottom if you'd like. So the floor plans tend to match society's needs.
Yes, because I know when we're showing older homes, you can tell how people lived back in the 50s. Yes. the master bedrooms
Teeny
are
tiny
teeny
bedrooms.
tiny with like a real tiny bathroom, and we're like, how do they live? But their living room was like huge.
Yes, and their yards.
Yes,
Yards
and
were
now
much
you
bigger.
have bigger masters, and an open floor plan. So yeah, and of course, we hear all the time, I want something with character. I want something with character. And so with your pre-owned, you'll have an option to choose from different homes in different subdivisions. If you have a range of the area that you want to move. So you're going to see the different floor plans from back, even 5 years ago, and depending on the age and location of the home. And we already talked about that the older homes met the needs of society of that decade, and we're in 2020. We'll see what happens in this decade and what people, what like you said, more people are working from home. So I bet studies and offices are going to become more prevalent in newer homes, and of course, it's just different. So people, I don't think it has more character. I just think that it just has a different character.
It's a flavor.
And people are like, well, I like that. Yeah.
Do you still like playing the game where you walk into a pre-owned home and try to guess the decade it's from?
I could pretty much tell, especially when it has popcorn ceilings.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh yeah.
Or those wall shelves, and it's a lot of fun.
So I think for this category, I think it's a tie because it depends on
what your needs are. Tie.
Yeah,
Go for a tie.
All right. All right. Amenities.
So with amenities, we're talking about things like common areas that are in your neighborhood, and with a new build, the amenities are getting better and better as the neighborhoods are getting planned. I mean, they're planning master communities now where they include schools and like little mini grocery shopping areas, walking and jogging and biking trails. They're getting just amazing. I know back in the day it was like, oh my gosh, my neighborhood has a pool. That's amazing. Now they have splash pads and like things that rival all the water parks and
yes.
like, it's crazy. But keep in mind, you're gonna pay for it.
Yes. I know. I mean, some of these places that
$800 a year.
Some communities even have like a lazy river.
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes.
It's like what?
And even some will include in your like HOA fees, like there'll be multiple HOAs, and they'll do your yard for you. So everybody has like, talk about Stepford wives.
So the older neighborhoods, a lot of neighborhoods in San Antonio that are older do not have any amenities or an HOA. So no pool, no park. However, there are some slightly older ones from the 60s and 70s that I've seen that they'll have tennis courts. So I guess back in the 60s, in certain areas in San Antonio, they'll just have a tennis court. So I guess that was very popular back then. So it just depends on the neighborhood. But yes, amenities are getting better and better as we dog parks, like you said, and all kind of stuff.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I
Alrighty.
think new builds win on amenities though.
Yes.
Honestly, because
Okay.
I mean,
Oh yes, I'm ready. Alrighty. Next, we're gonna talk and this is the last one. Reputation of a subdivision.
Yes.
So, with a new build.
So, with a new build, sorry, our executive producer is trying to let us know some things. On a new build in the neighborhood there, you can kind of use the location of where it's being built to maybe have an idea of how that neighborhood's going to sound, but really you don't know how the neighborhood's going to be. Everything is brand new. You don't know who is going to be moving into the neighborhood. Lawns usually aren't established, and it's kind of difficult to gauge. Is this ultimately going to be a good neighborhood?
And then, of course, with pre-owned, lots of subdivisions have great reputations. They want to be, they're sought after. Yep. So when a house goes up in that neighborhood, it goes super fast, just depending. So you already know. you know. And there's certain high schools that I know of that if it's zoned for that high school, I know that this is going to be a really hot property, things of that nature. So
that's very true.
yes.
And you know, I know when I walk in with clients, or even myself when I'm going to a neighborhood, I always look at how people are maintaining the things that in their neighborhood, because that will tell you a lot.
So
I think pre-owned is going to win on this one, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because I like to be able to see, you know, with a new build, I think you're kind of taking a little bit of a guess.
yes.
You know,
yes.
you can buy in Stone Oak or something like that, a new build, and you don't know. 5 years from now, it may be kind of looking run down.
Yeah, right. I know, right? So, like a Batman. Alrighty. So,
ultimately, choosing a new build over a pre-owned home is going to come down to really what your needs are and what works best for your family. And purchasing a home is one of the largest investments you will make in your lifetime. So we really just want people to take the time to weigh the pros and the cons, keep an open mind, and of course, let us know if you have any questions.
yes. So, thank you for joining us again. And next week, we will be back with another topic.
Feels good to be back.
Yeah.
And guys, I would love if you would put your comments down and your thoughts down in the comments. What do you prefer, new build or pre-owned?
Yeah, and why? All right, till next week. Thank you.
Bye.